Hey guys, I hope everyone is having a good Friday. I wanted to make a video. Oh, gosh, my hair is crazy. Don't mind me. Um, I wanted to make a video about the Taylor Frankie Paul situation. I was undecided whether I was going to address it or not, just because it does seem to be such a touchy issue with people, and I don't want to offend anybody, but the more that's come out, the stronger I feel about it. So those of you that don't know, Taylor Frankie Paul is an influencer who lives in Utah and is a part of the reality show Secret Lives of Mormon Wives. And it's a bunch of girls that all of them, I believe, are mothers and married or were married. The whole thing started from a situation where they got caught swinging with each other's spouses. That's a whole other thing. So it seemed like right from the beginning, controversy was what spurred the show on. And Taylor especially has been, I think, involved in every scandal that has come out of there. So that aside, in 2023, there was an incident between Taylor and her baby's father, Dakota. And although I don't think at the time the baby, was born, or that she was pregnant. Believe it or not, after this incident, she decided, this is a man I want to have a child with, apparently. So there was an incident, and at the time, body cam footage was released, but it wasn't of the actual, incident. It was the aftermath. So it shows the police arriving and basically each of them telling their version of what happened, but not actually the actual thing that happened. So that alone was bad enough, because Taylor is extremely intoxicated. Her baby's father, Dakota, who is the same one that's involved in the second incident that is causing this other round of controversy. He is not intoxicated. He is a recovering alcoholic and drug addict, and he says he's not intoxicated. He seems like he's not intoxicated. Taylor, however, clearly she is obliterated, so much so that she pees her pants right there on the body cam footage. It's really awful. It's embarrassing. And the worst part is her children were at home during this time. She has 2 children with her husband at the time, and he's the one that was involved in the swinging with her. And long story short, they divorced, and then she went on to Dakota. And so her 2 small children were there at the time. And so Taylor admits to throwing a chair. She admits on the body cam to throwing one, even though it's not caught on on video at the time. And she is blaming him that she was defending herself, and it's a mess. And what ends up coming out is it said that in the police report that her young daughter, had a bump on her head, and it was because Taylor was throwing chairs and one hit her child. So this all was bad enough, just seeing the aftermath and then hearing what had happened. But then she went on to become the new Bachelorette. And her season was supposed to debut in a few days, this Sunday, I believe. It was just pulled, and I was surprised, I guess, that they pulled it. I was betting on them not doing that, actually, but I believe the release of the video of what actually happened 2023, I believe that was like the last straw. They couldn't justify it, because prior to that, last week, it came out that she was involved in another domestic violence incident with Dakota. So she's on The Bachelorette. She filmed The Bachelorette. It's set to debut, and it comes out that she was involved in a second domestic violence incident where she committed violence on Dakota yet again. It is said that the violence is her choking him with a chain necklace. It does not say whether she was intoxicated again or not. I'm guessing so, just by her past behavior, but I don't know that for sure. Nobody has said one way or the other. So, yes, that was enough. I was surprised. I wasn't surprised that it happened again. I was surprised that at people's response to even that, she has a lot of supporters, like a lot of supporters that go to bat for her. However, the rest of the cast of the Secret Wives or Secret Lives of Mormon Wives then refused to film with her after word came up of this second domestic violence incident. They said that, I guess because they weren't allowed to talk about it on camera, and they all thought that was unfair because they're all expected to talk and show their real lives on screen. So it was not, they weren't happy that why doesn't Taylor have to do that? And then two, whatever happened in the incident, a lot of them are just, it seems so disgusted by it that they just want no parts of dealing with her. So that put the show on hold, that show. And like I said, Bachelorette was due to premiere Sunday, and word came out of this incident. Good Morning America, which is ABC, which is Disney Plus and Hulu, which all Secret Lives of Mormon Wives is on Hulu, for those of you that didn't know. And then, of course, the Bachelor and Bachelorette franchise is ABC. So they had a vested interest, obviously. So Taylor goes on GMA, basically trying to do damage control, I guess, because they were still wanting to go forward with the show. They ask her very basic, generic questions, and she just says, I'm very focused on my children now, blah, blah, blah. So, yeah, I was pretty sure, especially after that they were just going to keep going forward. But yesterday, the actual video of the 2023 incident was sold to TMZ, and it has to be by Dakota, because Dakota was the one that actually filmed it on his phone, so I would assume, is the only one in possession of it. I think he was holding on to this, and because no one's ever talked about it before. I don't even know that the police have seen it before. And my theory is, I think he did it. For one, he is trying to get, I guess, custody of their young child. Two, I think he's jealous. He didn't want her to go on The Bachelorette. He didn't want to see what happens on The Bachelorette. She reportedly picks a guy and then breaks up with that guy to sleep with Dakota again. And then she doesn't even end up with Dakota. She doesn't end up with either guy. It's just she keeps sleeping with Dakota, and it's a whole thing. So my theory is Dakota is jealous, does not want that footage aired, does not want to have to see any of that, deal with any of that. That's my theory. In observing their relationship and being familiar with toxic patterns like that, that is my guess. So it was released yesterday. When I tell you, I have seen a lot of things, whether it's true crime, reality shows, in my own life. Like, I used to work in the emergency room. So that's where I started. That was like my first medical job that I cut my teeth on. And you guys know, like, it is a madhouse in there. Like, you see all kinds of things. So, and then also in my personal life included, when I tell you that this video is awful, I mean awful. Like, I have never seen a female act like that. Like, I have never, in that situation, like, she is going after a man while her child is standing right there, her little daughter, and she's clearly drunk off her ass, but she is like an animal. Like, that's the best I can compare it to. She doesn't just throw a chair once or try to hit him with the chair. She literally is throwing chairs. It starts out by her just like grabbing at him and pulling him and hitting him, and he has the phone on, so a lot of it you can see the video. Eventually you can only hear because it appears he dropped the phone. But before it cuts to where you can only hear the audio, you see her, like, them tussling. Now, I don't know what goes on when he's not taping or filming or whatever. He doesn't seem, and there's never been any actual reports of him being physical with her. In the video, he is not fighting back. He's basically trying to, like, hold her back, from him, because she has a hold on him. And she's, like, yelling and carrying on and just, like, on and on and on, and it's, like, insane. And then she picks up a metal chair and launches it at him. And, like, I have never seen something like that happen to where, like, in that type of situation by a female. Like, it's crazy. And then, not only that, but she does it again. Like, she picks up, I think it was like 3 or 4 chairs she threw, and her daughter's standing right there, and one of them hits her daughter in the head, and she doesn't bat an eye. And Dakota, has to tell her, you can hear him in the video say, your daughter just got hit, go tend to your daughter. And she just, it's like it does not even register. The most she says is that's your fault that she got hit. She doesn't go over to her daughter to check if she's okay. You can hear her daughter crying and saying, "Mommy," and she doesn't bat an eye. She doesn't go over there. Like, I just have never seen something like that. And the rage in her, I had no idea by the description of what happened that it was this bad. And I have heard a lot of people saying that. I have also seen a lot of comments and heard a lot of people defending her behavior and calling it reactive abuse. I am not for these new terms that are coming out. Like, I myself have I was in a horrible relationship in my past. Let's just say that. And I understand completely defending yourself physically, which I didn't do in my instance. I wish I did. Now, being where I am, I wish I had. I was very young and didn't stick up for myself. So I totally get that. But in the video, and by all descriptions, it is not that type of thing. He's not putting hands on her. He's not hurting her. In terms of him gaslighting her, which some are saying in terms of like reactive abuse, that he's pushing buttons, I can give people that. Like, I always am suspicious when someone is filming something like on their phone and it starts in the middle, like, because when the video starts, they're already fighting physically, and he's like, get off of me, Taylor, this is what I'm talking about. So I fully, like, so say he said the worst thing in the world to her. Say he, like, played on every, topic that he knew was sensitive to her to enrage her. Just say that is, I don't know that that's the case, but say it is. Think of the worst thing you could say to somebody. Let's just use that example. There is absolutely no excuse for how she behaved. I don't care what he said to her. That there is nothing that justifies that reaction, especially when your child is there. Like, there's just nothing. There's nothing anyone can say that makes that okay. And the thing I'm also having issues with is a double standard. If Taylor were a man and this same thing happened, not only would the man never get a TV show, the man would not have people sticking up for him saying it's reactive abuse. It's not, it's just a double standard. I'm very passionate about that. It's really bothering me, the comments I'm seeing. And listen, I do not dislike her. Like, I don't. I have watched the show. I don't dislike her. I feel like she's a very troubled girl. Like, I do. I feel badly for her. But there's no excuse. I think she has a drinking problem. And because her normal behavior, she doesn't seem, seems calm, like when, they're filming and it's just like she's not been drinking. She acts normal. She still makes bad choices. Like, I think she needs a lot of help with self-confidence, because she makes horrible choices constantly. And I feel bad. Like, I don't know what her past was before all of this. I don't know, what she was involved in. But I do feel badly for her. Reportedly, she had gone to therapy at one point a few years ago. Apparently, it did not help as much as it needed to, because she is out of control. And like I said, I don't dislike her. I never disliked her. Her choices are horrible. I believe she's not stable enough to have her children, to be raising her children full time, especially now. I don't think she's a terrible person. I don't think Dakota's a terrible person. I think they both love their children. But I don't think Taylor is in the position to have full custody of her children. Maybe not even have, like, she needs to get help. I feel like she should have supervised visitation right now. She seems to really be struggling. Even beyond, like, before this, she's done like TikTok videos of kind of trying to bring awareness to depression, and the effects it has, because she'll show her house like completely, like, stuff everywhere, like just not cleaning, not picking up, just basic stuff. So that alone, like, I totally get, and I don't judge her for that. I never judged her for that. I have been there where you are so debilitated that you don't know, like, you just don't care about anything. And so I do not judge her for that. However, when you're raising children, I think it matters. I think you need help, even in that scenario, even if that's all that you're suffering with is depression, and it's making you not be able to take care of the things you should be. Even doing the most basic things, I feel you need help. You don't, maybe you need to have your children a little bit less than you do so that you can get yourself, healed and under control, get the help you need. And parenting is hard. Like, children are a lot of work. And when you are in depression, I don't judge somebody for that. However, it also it doesn't give you a good enough excuse to be having your kids full time and exposing them to things that are not healthy for them. So I feel very strongly about this issue, and I just think, I don't know. I just think it's kind of sad, a sad situation, and I really hope she gets the help that she needs. I am glad that it got, the Bachelorette got pulled. Like I said, I feel like they did not have a choice after the video came out because it was so horrible. But yeah, sorry, I'm distracted. Somebody pulled in beside me. But I just, I pray for her. I hope the best for her, and Dakota. But yeah, her children need to be with a stable person. I don't know much about her first husband, what the situation is there, but everything I have heard, like, he's not doing these things. So, maybe they need to be with the more stable parent right now until she can get herself figured out. I do worry for her. Like, I'm not gonna lie. Like, this is not a hate on Taylor video. Like, it's not. Just because there's no excuse for what she did and that she's in the wrong more so than Dakota. Just because I feel that way, it's not a hate on Taylor video. There's no excuse, but I don't think she's a horrible person. I think she loves her children. I think she doesn't want to be this way. I think she needs help. And I am very worried for her well-being. And if she does not turn things around soon, I'm worried about what could happen to her. I really am, because it just seems to be getting worse, like worse and worse as time goes on. And I don't see this ending well if there's not major, intervention that happens. So, anyway, that is all I have to say on that topic for right now. And let me know what you guys think about it. I know, again, it's a very touchy topic. It's a hot button issue. I don't want to offend anybody, but I feel like, speaking from my own experience, understanding the situation and how toxic relationships can affect you. I just felt strongly about voicing my opinion on the matter. I'm not saying I'm right. I don't ever expect someone to substitute their own judgment for mine. I'm just saying this is what I see, this is what I think, and yeah, I am praying for her. I really am. For her children, Dakota, because they have a child together. And I just, I hope everything works out. But let me know what you guys think in the comments. And I will talk to you later. Bye.